Hello, everybody. My name is Shawn Summe, the Director of Athletics here at Avila University. Welcome to our Eye on the Eagles podcast. Today, we are very fortunate and blessed to have Real Media Kansas City host us today for the podcast. We thank them for that. Pretty exciting show for you today. We have 2018 baseball alum Drew Dowd here with us from Poplar Bluff, Missouri. And Drew and I are going to talk a little bit about what he learned at Avila, talk a little bit about an event we're having for our senior student athletes on Sunday, February 21st. We also have head softball coach Bryce White and senior softball player Sydney Gearhart joining us today. So we're going to get right in. Drew, thank you for being here. Welcome.
Well, thanks for having me.
No problem. Drew, a little bit, talk about your time at Avila if you can, and kind of what that meant. We were talking, I know transferred in from Three Rivers Community College, right. And so just talk about your experience at Avila.
Yes, so I transferred from junior college baseball to play 2 more years at Avila. Was not expecting to learn everything that I did while I was there. Really, Avila taught me how to connect better with people, how to constantly keep working on the network that you have, and obviously teamwork, collaboration, all. I learned that from baseball, just something I've known my whole life. So being able to experience that on a small scale, because, at university, there's 100 plus people per class. And the thing I liked about Avila was the intimacy of it. And I learned how much more effective things can be communicated in a smaller setting. And so that just goes, that's helped with my communication outside in the working world as well.
What are you doing now, Drew?
I'm a marketing and sales professional. So I did start in personal training for a few years, learned, just got really good with people. And now I do sales and marketing for a premier health club in Kansas City.
You haven't missed too many arm days?
No, I try not to.
Drew, if there's one piece of advice that you can give our student athletes about their time at Avila in college, what would that be?
Stay connected to your professors. And just people that you meet at Avila, because you never know whenever they're going to be able to step in and get you a job out of college. Because I thought the whole job searching would be like how it is whenever you're going through high school and college, you work at fast food or just as a server, you put in an application, you got the job. I didn't realize it was going to take me over a year and a half before actually landing my first professional job. And I neglected using my network that I already had whenever I should have been using them all along. So don't make the same mistake I did. Use your professors, use the people that you meet, because you're going to be able to get more opportunities.
So this is a perfect lead into Sunday, February 21st, a senior event that we're hosting for our student athletes, in which we're going to try to work with them on creating the social media presence with LinkedIn and how to build a resume and how to properly market yourself. So how did you get involved with that?
It was by accident. So as a marketing professional, I like to focus mostly on the digital space, and I knew that LinkedIn is the newest of all the social media outlets, but I noticed how effective it was at just getting eyes on me. So with LinkedIn, I stumbled upon it, but I see the value that it can have for students to be able to connect with people that are already working at these dream companies that they want to work at. They can already start talking to and connecting to. LinkedIn is just like Instagram, Facebook, Twitter. It's just in a professional sense. So the fact that, students that are juniors and seniors in college haven't been utilizing it to get, a dream career kind of blew my mind, especially the fact that I wasn't using it whenever I should have. So, yeah.
Yeah, and I know that we're real excited that you're going to be a part of it. And our athletic alumni committee has been awesome with the opportunity to do this with our student athletes and give up your time. And we thank you for that too. I do want to ask, though, I need a couple stories. I want to hear your best Coach Kronk story. That can be repeated on the Eye on the Eagle podcast.
Oh, this is tough. You put me on the spot.
All right, so we'll come back to that one. But what one moment do you remember from your time as a baseball player at Avila? Is there any that stand out of anything that throughout your career?
More than actually my very last start. as an Avila Eagle, things weren't going our way. We're mid-game, we're playing Mid-America, and we just can't get calls to go our way. And there are so many like little things that are just really irritating in baseball. Ump misses a call, admits he does, then pulls a makeup call, and you really don't want him to make a makeup call. Just stop making the calls. But towards the end of the game, we made a comeback. We take the lead. We're in extras. There's nobody out, and the bases are loaded. They score their man from second. They win, and we're up 1. And Jake Vermillion comes in, 1, 2, 3, 2 strikeouts, and then a ground ball. And going from you being like, wow, my last game as a starter was a no decision and then a loss in a tournament. Like, I didn't want it to end that way.
Right.
I was really emotional during the game. I was crying like a baby. And
we've all been there.
But then, even though I never pitched again, that was my last outing, the fact that as a team we came together and that wasn't my last experience as an Avila Eagle, and it was in a very exciting fashion, that's probably my most memorable.
Awesome. So now we're going to put you on the hot seat here. You already failed the one, right?
Right.
The Kronk story. So
Right.
we have rapid fire questions here. They have to be answered quickly. Okay. All right. Favorite color?
Blue.
Favorite food?
Pizza.
Favorite restaurant?
Chipotle.
Beaches or mountains?
Mountains.
Favorite holiday?
Christmas. Is that even a question?
When you were a baseball player, who was your best dressed teammate?
Oh.
Do you remember your teammates?
Yes, I remember.
Okay.
I actually remember all my teammates.
We can come back to that.
We need to come back to that.
Okay. Favorite candy bar?
Reese's.
Favorite movie?
Lord of the Rings. 2 Towers.
Favorite band or musician?
A Day to Remember.
Favorite TV show?
Letterkenny.
Last TV show you binged?
Letterkenny.
Best dressed teammate?
I haven't had a chance to think about this.
You could say Coach Kronk and his
I could.
sweat outfits.
Oh. Yeah, we'll go with Kronk.
Okay.
His gray sweat outfits.
Perfect. Drew, I really appreciate you being here today. Thank you so much for being here
Thanks
to
for having
join
me.
us. Thanks for investing back in our students on February 21st coming up. Wish you the best of luck and look forward to we are connected now on LinkedIn too,
Yeah.
I believe. So
Yeah.
we'll look forward to building that relationship.
Absolutely. Thank you.
Welcome back to episode 12 of the Eye on the Eagles podcast. I'm Tim Hackett, Sports Information Director here at Avila University. Joining us now, Bryce White, head softball coach. Bryce, thanks so much for being here.
Thanks for having me.
Thanks again to Real Media for sponsoring us here on episode 12 of the podcast, sponsored by J.M. Fahey Construction Company. Bryce, you guys are just about ready to finally get this 2021 season up and running. But before we get to that, I want to talk to you a little bit about last year. What was it like having your season end a lot sooner than you would want? Played about a dozen games, and then all of a sudden there was no more. Take us back to this time about 11 months or so ago.
I was pretty tough. We didn't really know. We didn't know what was happening. We didn't. We had no idea that there was going to still be going on. When it first started, it was 2 weeks. Sent my girls home for 2 weeks. Did what everybody was saying, and we came back 2 weeks later. Practiced a couple days, and then I think that was when we officially kind of got shut down as a country. And so it was, we didn't know what was to expect. We didn't know what was going on. So it was really, there was a lot of shock, and then once the shock was out of the way, everybody was at home. And so, you really didn't know what your mindset of your players was, because, obviously last year the seniors thought that, the last game that they played was the last time they may ever take the field. Obviously the NAIA and the NCAA gave those years back, but was tough for those kids because I think as an athlete, you just want closure. You know, you just want to walk off the field, no, I either won, I lost, you know, and we were in the PAV getting ready to go to a game and we got told we couldn't go. And so, you know, just that closure. And so it was a struggle, just a mindset mentally for everybody, you know, just with having something that's so important taken away that's meant a lot to them. You know, most of them played since they were little. And so just that closure and that fear of possibly never being able to strap the cleats on one more time. So it was definitely tough on us for sure.
And now almost a year later, you and the players will get another chance to get back out there and strap those cleats on once again. But what have you personally learned over the last, let's call it 10 months or so, as you get ready to embark on this season?
Nothing.
I don't think that's true.
You know, I definitely think it's, you know, you're as a coach, you want to have a practice plan, you want to have your week planned out and everything. And it's made everything kind of go very day to day. Just because you don't know what tomorrow holds. You know, you could get a phone call that somebody is put in a quarantine or this and that, possibly lose your whole team to quarantine. And so just take it very day by day. Just appreciate the days we do get to get to go play and put our cleats on and take the field or take live at-bats in the PAV or just be together as a team. You know, I think that was one thing that I think we probably missed a little more than kids actually thought about was just that team camaraderie and, you know, just battling with your friends every day and all of a sudden it's just over. Like, you know, and so, but just enjoying being with your team, I think that's the biggest thing. And just really trying to get the girls just appreciate the day. You know, when we're at practice, use it as an escape. There's enough crazy stuff going on. Just let's forget about everything and let's just have some fun at ball and just kind of let these 2 hours be our escape. And I think we've done a really good job of that this year. This fall and the spring has been really good for us. So just trying to take it day by day. Tomorrow's not a given.
What is the mentality, the energy around the team right now as you guys are days away from getting your season up and running?
It's really good right now. And I think that's the challenging part for me and the coaching staff is just, you know, keeping the girls motivated because, you know, we're supposed to open up tomorrow or Saturday, the 13th. That's been moved. Then we're supposed to open up the 18th. That's been moved. And so everything's just getting pushed back. And, you know, I just keep telling them, hey, we got to keep the energy up, keep the focus because it's going to happen. We don't know when. Whenever Mother Nature quits doing whatever she's doing, that's when we get that opportunity. But just being ready. You know, we're at a situation right now if somebody called and said, hey, I've got an open date, 6-7 hour drive, we're probably going to take that trip immediately. You know, we're going to take those games and we're ready to play. You know, we're ready to get outside and just face somebody else other than each other.
Let's fast forward a little bit because once KCAC play starts up, you guys were preseason number 4 in the conference. You and I've talked about this a little bit before, but what can you tell me about the conference overall and how you think your team stacks up in the big picture?
You know, I don't have much information on the conference other than just what I've known in the past. You know, I wasn't fortunate enough to get to see anybody in the conference last year. Right. I think the KCAC is very balanced from year in to year out. Obviously, you got your Ottawas, Friends, you know, McPherson are always, you know, up there. And Avila has been up there at the top. And so it's kind of a dogfight up at the top. And so I think it's going to be, you can't take any days off. You know, every game's going to mean something, that's for sure. Especially with 4 teams up top. And then just everybody else throughout there's balanced. You know, you have one bad day and everybody's got an arm that can show up and beat you. And so you got to make sure you're ready in a conference that's this deep. You know, there's a lot of parity. Everybody's got an arm that if it's their day, you're in trouble. And so just making sure that you're ready to go every day because it's going to be a dogfight. And one game early could cost a game early, could cost you a conference tournament late.
Let's talk about your team specifically now because it's kind of a new look team from last year to this year for you. Now in year 2 as the head softball coach here at Avila. But let's start with the players that are coming back that Eagles softball fans will have been familiar with. Who can you tell us about that's going to be kind of a familiar face, a familiar name that's expected to lead your team this year?
Well, you know, we returned, 2019 KCAC Player of the Year, Mia. And then, you know, you got Madison McKinney in the circle. We'll be returning for, you know, super senior. Sydney Gearhart behind the plate. And then C. McGee over at first. And just, and then pretty much a lot of them are going to be new just because, you know, you have Emily Walton in the outfield. You know, but we got a lot of new faces. I think I was looking and I think 6 or 7 are kind of returners, and then everybody else was. And I'm not even including last year's kids as returners. They're considered new, kind of because still having that freshman status,
Sure.
but they really didn't get their feet wet. And so there's going to be we're going to have a solid. I really like our leadership up at the top. Those kids have been very successful since they've been here. They know what it takes to win, the conference. They know what it takes to win the tournament. These kids have been in regional championship games, and so they battled. And so, with the leaders that I have up at the top, they're doing a great job of teaching those younger kids, what it's going to take to just to compete. It's a dogfight, and so they're really. My leadership has been really good, and that's really held us together through all this because. Haven't been able to do much team activities and that kind of stuff. But our team camaraderie is really good. Like I've been around a lot of teams, and this team's very close. And it's kind of weird because in a time like this, we haven't been able to do some of the team building. It's more just show up to practice and kind of then keep your distance at practice, and then everybody go back to your dorm room and stay away. And so it's been. But our leaders have done a good job of just. Being active, being at other people, basketball games, volleyball games, and just that leadership of like we're in it together, and I think that's I like where our mindset's at going forward.
Adaptation is kind of the key word for the last 10 plus months,
sure.
huh? Who are some of those new faces that you talked about the leadership helping bring some of the new people along? So whether they are those pseudo new people that have only gotten a handful of games experience at the college level or true new to the team, who are some of the new people we should look out for?
Oh, I think a kid that was going to have a really big year last year and going to have a big year for us this year, swinging the bat really well right now is Brooke Day, freshman shortstop. And, she's just a big, strong kid and just loves to play the game. And so she gets after it. I think she's going to have a big year offensively for us. And then, Morgan Snivy in the circle. Last year she went out and really, I think, proved to herself a little bit. Went out and held number 2 science and arts in a game that we were battling. And went out and 2 freshmen kind of went out and said, "Hey," and I think for them it showed them that they belong a little bit. And so, Morgan, and then you got Peyton Walters in the circle. Chelsea Kurt's going to be in the outfield. I think that kid's going to have a big year as a freshman. She runs well. And so just got a lot of moving parts, and just really going to have, that good mix of some power and some speed. And so we're going to be able to do I think we're going to be a fun team to watch. I think we're going to be able to do a lot of different things instead of just kind of sit on our hands. And I love the long ball, but we're going to have to probably hit and run a little bit and move some runners. And, we want to make people feel uncomfortable. And so that's what we've been talking about since the fall is just making people uncomfortable. And I think for us to watch us play some of the games, I think we're going to be successful and we're going to make the game ugly. Hopefully we're making the other team kick the ball around and just making it ugly. Maybe hard as a fan to sit and watch but we want to put that kind of pressure and make people feel uncomfortable, and that's what we're going for.
Is that kind of the goal that you have when you set out to build a team now after coming from, dozen plus years as a top assistant coach, as at a great softball program at Campbellsville, now coming here as your second year as the head coach here? Is that kind of how you wanted to build your team like that? Yes and no, I guess?
I'd love to have the team where I'm going to send out 9 kids that are going to go from 5 to 15 home runs.
Wouldn't we all?
3 or 4 50 RBI kids and, somebody swipe 25, 30 bags. But, I think when you come in, you just kind of see where your recruiting dynamic is and what you got. And, some of it is the regions and the areas that you're able to recruit pretty successful, or ball players are a little bit different from every region. And so, we're able to get some speed here. And so, and then, like I said, but also some good mix of some power. But, hell, I'd love to have the 70 home runs as a team. That's the perfect team for me, and ERA of 2. So, but I think we're going to be strong in both of those aspects, and so we'll just kind of see what happens.
We started this by dipping into the time machine a little bit, but let's flash forward just to touch a little bit again. It's all, speculative at this point, but when you guys finally get out there and play your first game, whatever that is this month, how do you think you're going to feel?
Oh, it's going to be awesome. It's fun just showing up to the cage and just hitting live. We've been able to, week ago, Wednesday, we were outside. I think it was 52, 53 degrees. Pretty nice day. And baseball opened up that day, and it was nice to just hear the bat, the umpire, just everything that goes with the game a little bit. And so there's going to be a lot of excitement. I think it's going to be one of those games where, you just kind of turn your kids loose. You don't really say much before the game because the emotions are going to be there just because it has been so long since we've competed, and played. So I think you're just going to kind of show up that day and let them do their thing and, do your lines and, meet with them, but say very little. Let the emotions just kind of carry you through that day.
Whenever that day comes, we're excited for that, for you guys, for the ladies, and for all the fans out there as well. We are looking forward to it. Avila softball will open up later on in the month of February. Stay tuned to avilaathletics.com for schedule updates. Avila softball on Twitter, Avila Athletics on Twitter as well. Your best source of information for up-to-date schedule updates for Avila softball and for all of our Eagle sports teams. Bryce White, thanks for being here.
Thank you.
Welcome back to episode 12 of Eye on the Eagles. I'm Tim Hackett, joined now by senior Avila softball player Sydney Gearhart. Sydney, thanks for being with us.
Thank you.
It is so great to see you and have you guys almost be ready to get out there and start your softball season coming up here in a matter of days. But like we talked about with your coach, I want to step back into the time machine for a second and flash back to about this time a year ago. And you guys were a little more than a dozen games into your season, and then it all kind of came to a halt. Take us back to that moment in time and how it felt for you guys as players to have the season just end like that.
Yeah, I remember very vaguely. We were going to Wichita, and Bryce texted us and told us to come into the PAV. And I think we kind of knew then we probably weren't going because we'd been talking, like the Ivy League had said they were done with sports. And so we all kind of had the conversation, like, when are we going to get called? When are they going to tell us you can't play? And so that day he had told us, like, we're done for, I think, like the next 2 weeks or something like that. And we were just going to practice for a little bit, but we knew we were like, we're not. The season's kind of over. And I think at that point it was all, I think we all were excited for like a little break. Your body is hurting. We were excited for that. But then when it actually came into play, like, okay, you're done for a season, it was scary. Like, this is the longest amount of time I've ever been not playing a game of softball. And it's almost been a year now. And that's since I was a little kid. And so that's scary. I think I've learned out of all of it, just like kind of living in the moment, and it's going to end any day. And I kind of know that now, especially when this all first kind of started. It felt like it was ending then. And so now I'm more present for softball for sure, more there because I don't take advantage of it anymore. So it's a lot different this year.
Is that kind of what you've gone to learn about over the last 10 plus months, is just to kind of have a new little frame of mind, I guess, about how everything?
Yeah, because, usually summer I get like, 2.5 months off or whatever it is. So we start school again. And this year it's been like a whole 6 months and I didn't touch a ball. I didn't touch a bat. I didn't do anything at all. And part of it is I didn't really want to, just because I was like, wow, I just want to play. And I think I'm more than ready now ever to play a game, like mentally, just because I've missed it so much than I ever have been, like in my previous years of even college or just when I was playing competitively when I was younger.
That was what I was going to ask you, is now that it's almost there, I know that Bryce said, you had some games moved back and start times change and all that stuff, but now that you're almost ready to get out there and play, pick up a bat for the first time in a while, how are you feeling?
I'm excited. I mean, I'm a little jittery. It's because I haven't played in almost a year now, but I'm excited to get out there. I'm like biting at the bit. I'm ready to go. I'm ready to start season, get it underway.
Do you guys even pay attention to like the preseason rankings and stuff like that? Like, does that even cross your radar at all?
I mean, I don't. I'm gonna be completely honest with you. We were told that we were ranked 4th. It's kind of like, wow, that's kind of a gut punch. But at the same time, I guess I didn't really, care is the best word to give, because I know that we have a lot to prove coming off of, when we actually played in conference over a year ago now, like 2 years at this point. And so I think I believe in us as a team. I do believe in us that we are going to be able to prove that and say, no, 4th is not fair. That's not what we deserve to be ranked right now.
Is that kind of the sentiment on the team then, that you guys believe that you're going to make a statement and get out there and show the rest of the conference what you're capable of?
Yeah, I think like my fellow seniors and I there's a lot of new faces. There is. We are a very young team, and that's exciting because they have a lot to prove, and they have a lot to experience and learn how to play at the level that they're playing at. But it's exciting and it's fun. And I think it's going to be a very eventful year, for sure.
What do you think then your role is, or your job, if you will, on the team is as one of those seniors that has been around, that has been part of that championship team that has existed at the school in the past, to now interact with all those new faces that you were talking about? What is your role on the team?
Be a leader, kind of take them underneath my wings, let them know, like, this is how it works, this is how we do things. We have a culture that goes back a lot of years previously to girls who are already long gone and graduated. And we're really true to holding that culture, and that's something that we are trying to show them, like how we do things. We win as a team, we lose as a team. We mess up as a team, we go through it as a team. And I think that's something we're really working on showing them, is that we're going to be a team no matter what, and that's just how we're going to do things. But so I think taking them under my wing and kind of showing them the way and just getting them going, it's my role with the current moment.
I'd love to learn a little bit more about you as an individual, Sydney. Like, how did you first? Here's a basic question for you to start with. How did you end up really getting into softball and realizing that was what you were gonna?
So when I was younger, I actually was a gymnast. I was really girly. I didn't like dirt. I didn't like anything to be outside, and I actually have 3 brothers, which was really surprising. And they wanted me to play softball. My siblings did, and I always said that I would look really stupid in a helmet. So I never played. And then finally, my mom was like, "No, you're playing." So I played, and I didn't even play t-ball or anything. I played coach's pitch 1 year. And then after that, my mom was like, "Okay, you're pretty competitive about it." And so she took me into competitive, and I was 8 at the time, and I've never stopped playing since.
Yeah, again, it's persisted since there. That's awesome. It's a cool origin story. What brought you to Avila specifically?
Honestly, a small school. I come from a really tiny town, so I grew up, everyone that I graduated with, I knew from the time I was 5. And I think going to a big school would scare me a little bit, and I liked the smaller setting of classes. That's something I was really looking forward to, be able to get like in touch with my professors, them knowing me on a first name basis if I had a question, and even being an athlete saying, "Hey, I have a game today, I'm not gonna be there. Can we meet and talk about what's going on in class and whatnot?" Whereas big school, you don't get that like one-on-one conversation with them. And so that's really what drew me here for sure.
Professors appreciate that. I can attest to that.
Oh yeah.
What are you looking forward to after Avila? Whenever your softball career and your academic career here ends, whenever that might be, what are you looking forward to next?
Life, I think.
That's a good answer.
I mean, I don't know. I'm excited because I've never experienced life without softball. So that's probably one of the scariest things that it's kind of going through my mind, and just the fact of I'm graduating soon, and like the reality of I have to get a job, I gotta be a big kid, I gotta pay bills. But I'm excited for it. I'm ready to experience that other side of life and just see what it's about.
That's part of the benefit, part of the why we're excited about that senior day event that we talked about at the top of the show, to kind of show seniors and upperclassmen a little bit of a sneak peek of what it's like in the real world, because it's a little bit different than what it's like as a college student. It's not a bad thing necessarily, but it is a little bit different. All right, Sydney, it's your first time on the show, so this is what we like to do for all of our rookies on Eye on the Eagles, if you will. We're gonna hit you with a series of rapid fire questions. Answer as quickly as you can, all right?
All right,
All right,
I'm prepared.
you know, our athletic director, Shawn Summe, you met earlier in the show, is watching, and he likes to time people, and he'll tell you if you're not fast enough for him, so no pressure.
I'm gonna win.
All right, all right, here we go. The competition, the drive is showing. All right, we'll hold you to it. All right, ready? Here we go. What is your favorite color?
Yellow.
Favorite food?
Sushi.
Favorite restaurants?
Sushi, yep.
Any place you can get sushi?
Specifically, Drunken Fish.
Okay, when you go on a holiday or vacation, do you prefer beaches or mountains?
Mountains.
Okay, favorite holiday?
4th of July.
Who is the best dressed player on your team?
Madison McKinney. I'm rolling my eyes at that.
She's gonna love to hear that. Favorite candy bar?
A Heath Bar.
Hard one. Favorite movie?
I don't even have one.
What's a movie that you like?
Monsters, Inc.
That is a fantastic answer. Favorite band or musical artist?
Green Day.
Also a good answer. Favorite TV show?
Friends.
Last TV show that you binge watched?
Friends.
All right, Sydney Gearhart, senior on the Avila softball team. Thank you for being here with us. Her season starts up any day now as we're here in the middle of February. And once again, stay tuned to AvilaAthletics.com and Avila Athletics on social media, and Avila Softball on Twitter for all your schedule updates. For Shawn Summe and for all of us here at Avila Athletics, I've been Tim Hackett. Thanks once again to Real Media for hosting us here on episode 12 of Eye on the Eagles. We'll see you next time. So long.